All right, that ended up being completely my fault, as you'd expect. But I got it fixed now. My chat window's open, restarted. It's a 45-minute album. Gives us 45 minutes to work. Let's see what I can get done. Okay, here we go. Let's see. So first thing I want to do is I want to make all our little head crabs run around on the screen. Yesterday I did export all these things as GIFs or GIFs, whatever you like to say. We've got streaming, animation. Sorry, I gotta say this stuff out loud so I can remember where I put it. Head crabs. By the way, I made the head crab attack an alert or emote yesterday. Oh yeah, High Tops, that show was sick. They're notoriously hard to find band in terms of like live shows. They are doing a whole tour right now. So yeah, we've got this attack crab emote now in the system. What is going on? I swear. Get my Twitch stream manager back up. There we go. Yeah, High Tops, there's the one. And then of course we've still got our working crab. All right, all that being said, let's bring in some of these assets here. We've got head crab walking around and head crab attack. I know I said I was going to do the jump in After Effects. It just seemed like too much work. So I did the jump in the GIF. And then last one in here, we have scrub through. Yeah, there it is. Nice and big. Even though he just sort of appears out of nowhere, in my experience, your eye doesn't really see that when it plays, so it's gonna be fine. And then we've got our crowbar right outside, way ahead of me here. So that's to hit Casey on the head. Then just so I've got the reference, I did grab this screenshot. So we want to make sure. Let's get the crowbar out of the way first. That's going to be the easiest one. So there's probably a smarter way to do this, but I just decided I'm going to export a full-size thing here. Line it up, because that seems like the easiest way to make this work. Feels a little big. All right, So, not quite a connection there. Obviously, there's going to be a head crab in the way, but I think the more it overlaps, the more it's going to hit. It'll look like a good hit. So let's shrink our workspace here. And I swear I don't usually forget how to do this stuff when it's just me. Okay, that looks all right. Emily grandchildren, hey, yeah, there was a lot of work to get done for this episode, so doing a lot of streams just to help myself get it done. Big Sleep, good morning. Okay, so I'm going to say that's good there. It should run faster for our settings here. Go for 20 more. Maybe I'm doing something funny with the way this is being interpreted. Maybe I just shouldn't be watching these at full. As you can tell, this is not the program I'm best at. I think it's interpreting the speed funny. See how the other ones look. Especially like the attack, that should be a real clear sign that it's not working. Shrink this down a bit. I do want it to be annoying on the screen for sure. But I don't want it to be impossible to play. What do we think? Like that on the screen feels pretty good to me. And then again, I didn't really know how to make this head crab land in different places on the screen. So I think the idea is I'm just going to export a few versions where it is in different places on the screen. And then we'll randomize them in OBS. And then rather than just kind of jumping out of nowhere, like I said I was okay with, we can add some really simple motion to the beginning of this. Oh yeah, look, this is getting interpreted real slow for sure. Each one of these, that first frame is coming in at 12 frames. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I'm gonna figure that out. So I'm pretty sure this has something to do with how the footage is interpreted. Thanks, Rachel. I'm glad you stick around for all the scary games that we play, because we do a lot. Duke the Legend, why a live stream this early? Because I wanted to get this off my plate before I started my real job. So I'm going to, in my other window, do what I always do and Google, why is this not working? GIF moving slow in After Effects. Match timeline settings, unrendered RAM previews, or GIF specific frame rate limitations. Match the frame rates. Check the GIF interpretation. That's what I was saying. All right, so GIF interpretation. Oh yeah, look, frame rate 4.5 frames per second. It's got to have something to do with the fact that I have this mix of fast motion at the beginning and slow motion at the end. Interpret footage, main. And here it opened to my other monitor, but we're gonna have it assume, I think 24, because I think that's gonna look okay. We're gonna do that for all these GIFs. Yeah, there we go. All right, easy fix. Interpret footage, main, 24 on all these. And 24. Okay, so with that being done, our crowbar should look okay now. I'm going to go back and check that out. And now we've got to extend it. Oh man, I did something weird. This is just a settings stream, isn't it? Sammy Fine, this is King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. I realized yesterday, or this morning, that they have a fully public domain album that I could play on stream. Ernest says, Casey's played first-person games on stream and third-person shooters on stream. Has he played a first-person, an FPS? Not really. We played one episode of GoldenEye with Bob Job. And I think that's it. It's not really my favorite genre, to be honest. I feel like it used to be when I was younger. It's always a setting stream. It's like the end of BioShock, spoiler alert. Okay, so I fixed my frame rate issue, but now it's short. There's got to be a way to fix that. And I'm once again going to do the thing I said I always do and Google, why is my GIF short in After Effects? Sammy Fine, they are a band that when I saw them live, it completely changed my just whole appreciation for them. It's one of those bands, I feel like, good bands, if there's a song you don't like on their album, when you see them live, it suddenly makes sense. Okay, so it says my composition duration, that's not right, it's cut short. Loop set to 1 or 10 at the very bottom. Okay, we're doing this interpretation of footage again. Interpret footage, main. There should be something that's like a loop down here. Loop one time. I have it do a bunch more. Will it just let me see the whole thing? Oh, it must be, for whatever dumb reason, taking the time of the slow GIF. Oh no, it's not doing that at all. Oh, fun. Wait, it worked with the head crab, didn't it? Did the head crab look fine? The head crab does not look fine. That's all right, we're figuring this out together. I'm gonna do this. I'm going to pull these out of our project, see if that helps. Not help. Okay, let's try a new search. GIF short in After Effects. After interpretation. Sammy Fine, I've got a confession. I have never watched Avatar at all, even though everyone I know loves it. Everyone's told me to watch it. The animation of that new movie looks awesome. I should. You know, it's one of those shows where it's like, my other one is Breaking Bad. I waited like 4 seasons without watching it. And then I felt like there was too many episodes for me to catch up in. Manually extend the handles of the layer in my timeline. Oh, I thought I did that. Very right edge of the layer bar and turn double-sided horizontal arrow. I'm so confused because I thought, I guess it's moving correct, but it's short. Actually not even moving that correct. All right, I'm gonna do my other thing I like to do, which is fix it in a way that's not correct. So I'm gonna go back to the frame rate from files. Which it's not letting me do, so I'm gonna delete these. Go frame rate from files. And our crowbar. And our head crab attack. Our head crab dance. I'm probably making this way worse than I need to. All right. So let's see. But the dance we don't need. The dance is fine. Walk. That's what we need. Let's just look at this attack and see how it's running. jumping real slow. Oh, Eligab, don't worry. You're going to see lots of butt on Thursday. You didn't miss it. I'm sure I would like Breaking Bad. The other funny thing is I was a PA working on a show with Bryan Cranston in it. And I, as a person who didn't watch Breaking Bad, he was just a guy to me. And I felt like I didn't want to be intimidated around him or like starstruck. So that was another reason I avoided it. I was in the room with Trumbo. That is true. He seemed like a good guy based on my experience. But I've honestly not had as many bad experiences around talent as you would expect. Okay. I'm doing something so weird here. Okay, so I said I was going to cheat, and I am. I'm going to just change the speed of this, which I believe I can do. How embarrassing if I just couldn't get any of this to work. Change speed. Video. After Effects. Might be my own fault that I'm using time stretch. All right, we're gonna do time stretch. Stretch factor. I'm gonna assume that 100 is full speed, so we're gonna say 200. Did that make it faster? Actually made it slower. So let's open up our time stretch again. Let's say 50. I am realizing in a GIF, your speed is, you can set individual hold rates for each frame. It does not seem like you're allowed to do that once it's in After Effects. Fortunately, we do have a GIF that has a consistent speed. That's our head crab walk. So we're going to interpret this to loop. I think a 0 lets it work loop forever. Nope, not in this program. Sammy, find that does sound like a King Gizzard song. All right, we're going to let this loop 30 times because why not? So that's good to know. So the inconsistent frame rates in the GIFs don't seem to come over to After Effects, or at least I don't know how to work with them. So let's get this guy running across our screen. Oh, and of course there's a big empty space on top of this GIF because I was exporting everything in a square format to use as emotes, and this is not a square head crab. So After Effects is real simple in terms of how you animate stuff. Just open up my transform tool here. That lets me change scale, position, rotation. It also lets me do it on a timeline. So, oops, I'm going to set a key point for position. Move him off screen here. And I'm going to set another key point. Let's say 3 seconds. Move him to the other side of the screen. We're just going to play that back and see if it looks any good. Yeah, that looks all right. Not sure if I want that to be faster. Normally you want to, okay, according to his animation, it should be way faster. So this is like a little trick. Your foot, right, when it lands, you want it to stay in a consistent position while it's sliding. So you can see my mouse, right? Yeah, you can. All right. I'll zoom in here. We're gonna pretend that this claw is his foot, because it is, functionally. Claw lands there, and then it slides back like he's moonwalking. So in order to look like he's actually walking, he does need to move across the screen a lot faster. I'm going to move that endpoint across here until it does look like he's no longer sliding. Now you can see he's moving too fast. It really just comes down to a matter of sliding this thing until it looks okay. It's never going to look perfect because he is moving at a slower frame rate than he's moving. Like his poses are happening on 2s, but he's walking on 1s. How do I trigger these on stream? So Ernest, right now, I just use alerts. And I think I can do more with like Streamlabs. I haven't learned how to use Streamlabs. I'm just using OBS, which I'm avoiding showing on stream because I don't know enough about streaming safety. Hey, Aquamice. I don't know enough about the security to make sure I'm not like sharing something that someone could use to take control of it. So everything's alerts based. And alerts can get triggered in any number of ways. It can get triggered by cheering certain numbers of bits, can get cheered by subbing, gifting subs. So that's what I'm using. Guys, I'm going to shout out Aquamice. Aquamice is another VTuber who has a very cool concept. Sammy Fine, it is a system of digital levers and pulleys. The only thing that I have to manually run behind the scenes is King Cockroach's movement himself, not including the mouth. The mouth is automated. And not including any character he interacts with, their mouth is also automated through a program called Fujitech, which is really simple. It just takes any audio running through Discord, and when that's happening, it flaps a mouth, which is how my little avatar is working right now. All right, I've messed with this enough. I think the better test is just using our eyes. Oh yeah, see, already that looks significantly better in terms of his running around. And I don't necessarily want to make these guys bigger because I don't want them to be blocking the screen so much as like catching his attention with the movement and causing him to panic and shoot at things that aren't there. So that's the idea. And I'm going to end up exporting this as a video, a looping video with a transparency behind it. And that means I want to make sure that this loop feels long enough. We're going to go for a minute. That's a nice even number. Ernest, I am puppeteering all of Casey's movements. I'll have to show that on stream soon. I'm puppeting all his movements except for his lip sync. The lip sync is reading the shape of the waveform that his voice creates and assigning a mouth shape to that shape of the waveform. But everything else is automated. I think there's probably a way I could figure out how to make it. Sorry, not automated. Everything else is puppeted by me on the computer. I think there could be a way to automate it more if I use some VTubing software, but I personally really don't like the motion captured look that most VTubers use. Yeah, the setup doesn't make any sense. The setup is me taking what I know and and making it work. And I am not the most tech savvy person. I'm very self-taught when it comes to animation. That is how Red hijacked. It wasn't just Red, it was literally what was happening was the new mixer that we were using was taking every sound on every single sound on the mixer, and it was that was dirtier than I intended. But it was taking every sound on the mixer and it was running it out of the mic input, so that's why we were getting that weird ghosting effect. The way we ultimately fixed it was by turning down our mic to almost nothing, which is how we fixed it the other day. But definitely not ideal. I'm pretty sure we're going to have it fixed for this upcoming stream. All right, so this is our first guy. I do want to make him a little bigger. And do that for all of them. 60, 60, 60. And ultimately, I'm going to isolate these to just being on his gameplay screen. Sammy Fine, Mark Rennie's been on the show twice. Big fan. Yeah, he was on maybe as our second or third guest ever. And then he came on for Resident Evil 4 as the Chainsaw Ganado, whose canon name I learned is Dr. Salazar. Yeah, Overcooked. He was a chef. That was back in the day when we would let guests pick the games. Although after we did Overcooked, he said, if you guys ever play Resident Evil, let me know. So I was just waiting for a chance to bring him back. All right. So we've got some random ones running in the foreground here. Now I'm going to copy paste and do a one. And we're going to do like a midground, foreground, and a background. So let's go ahead and get our midground guy going. I'm going to keep our positions or anchor points. But I'm going, oh, I screwed that up. So I'm going to keep these anchor points, but I'm just going to flip them here, or these keyframes, whatever you call them. We're going to make him smaller. Let's say 45 maybe. See how that looks. And I am going to move him up to what looks good. 350 maybe. Make sure we apply that to both keyframes. I don't know why he's got this funny Bezier curve on him. That's something I did for sure. Yeah, Heather's the only Get Played host who has not guested. I'm a big fan. She had a group called Hideki Drysdale, I want to say. Very funny. But I think it might just be that Dan doesn't know her as well, and she is extremely busy. I'm sure she's doing all sorts of stuff. All right. Oh, right. The other thing I wanted to do was flip this guy. That's got to be an easy option. Flip horizontal. All right. There must be a keyframe I'm missing. Okay. Position 1. Start him over here. I said 350. We're just going to get him to scuttle across over here. Anna would be a great guest. I agree. She's the two of them are very good together. Why is there... Okay. Let's check this guy out. Could be going faster. That looks okay, I think. So yeah, what I'm hoping for with the final result, Sammy Fine, is during the hype train, there's going to be a head crab that drops on his head. There's going to be head crabs that run across his screen while he's playing. I was getting frustrated with how much interruption there was with the hype trains. Like, they just really kind of interrupt the episode, and we've had some really, really fun ones in the past. I think the one where he told the scary stories I really liked. The one where he sang the campfire songs I really liked. But when you combine it with the intro, it would make it sometimes that we wouldn't even start playing the game. And Pokédex was really fun, actually. That was a good one. But, you know, so frequently we wouldn't get into the game until almost 45 minutes into the stream. And I was just trying to figure out a way to do a hype train that doesn't stop the momentum of the game. So that's the goal with this hype train concept here, is he can keep playing, he can keep doing whatever he's doing, but it does feel different and weird. Should we try not to hype until the game is started? Ideally, but there's not really any way for me to control that. I think the reason it always starts in the beginning is because Twitch prompts you to share that you've been subscribed, and so everybody does it, and then it gets started. I think if I'm smart about it, I can have the hype train turned off at the beginning and then turn it on when the game starts. But I also think that we can do this while he's doing Kingdom announcements and all that, and it will be pretty funny anyway. It'll still be distracting. All right, so we've got a couple head crabs that are in the mid-ground going left to right. And I'm going to get one further back. It's even smaller. So yeah, I don't think you need to worry about waiting. I think this one would be really fun to have trigger during the game, but I think we'll make it work no matter what. That's another thing that's been really a lot trickier with this stream than I realized is most people have their set up so that their character's always in the same place. Like you're essentially sitting in a screen like this the whole time. And we are not doing that. We have all sorts of different screens that we're looking at. And it means that my alerts and stuff have to adapt. That's been tricky for sure. All right, we're gonna try, let's say 2:30, sure. Oh, did I get to the end of the album? Not quite. But we're almost there, so that means we're gonna have to wrap it up. Or risk listening to something that gets me a copyright strike. So I did not accomplish nearly as much as I wanted to. But I did learn a lot. Should make the rest of the process go faster. And I think I lied about making this a minute-long loop. I think we can make it feel random enough with the other stuff going around that we can do a shorter loop. Like, let's say 30-second loop. And it's going to feel a bit more chaotic too, which will be fun. Ace Attorney. Yeah, no, we've never played Ace Attorney. All right, this looks okay. I got to work on those layers. I think this will be fun. I've been trying to figure out like what's good on streams. Like, is a game like Ace Attorney with a lot of reading good? Or is it something more open world, which I thought would be better than it was. Like, for example, Fallout just almost seemed like there was too much freedom that kept him from staying focused on moving forward. I will say the couple times I've tried playing the game on stream, it is much harder than it looks to read chat, keep the stream moving, and play the game. Puzzle games would be really fun. I don't know. Have any of you ever played? I think it's called The Witness. The Witness blew my mind. It might be a pretty fun game for him to play. I think a game where there's like really not. It is hard. It is hard, but it's so. The ending of that game is one of the best endings I've ever seen. It would definitely frustrate Dan. Yeah, I think stuff like Resident Evil has been. Oh, Big Walk. I have PlayStation Plus, so I'm gonna get Big Walk and play it myself. It looks so cool. I hope that I can find some people who want to play it too. So I'm realizing these crabs in the back need to be walking a little bit slower. Just a little. It's too slow. Oh yeah, that works. Have I played Outer Wilds? I have not. I've always wanted to. I did not know it was a puzzle game. It just had really cool. A lot of times I'll just be interested in a game's art style, and that's enough to get me to play. All right, well, I'm going to cut off the stream here. And I'm probably not going to stream this episode again, or work on this episode again, because I think I've maybe got past the interesting stuff to watch. And it's just going to be me fine tuning little things like this. And on Thursday, hopefully you'll see it all in action. So we're going to have our crowbar smack, our head crabs jumping on the screen, head crabs twerking, and maybe one more. I have time. Semi-fine. I think it's already been jinxed. There's nothing I can do to unjinx it. Thursday in 2 days. All right, folks. Thanks for joining me this morning. I appreciate it. See you on Thursday.